I've done a video in the past about the evolution of the New Republic's fleet doctrine leading up to the development of their own supership class, the Mon Calamari Viscount. Today, we're going to look at all the known superships built by the New Republic in the Viscount-class. First off, we have the prototype of the Viscount-class, the Viscount itself. This ship was actually significantly different from the examples of the class which followed. While all Mon Calamari warships varied from each other to some degree, the Viscount took that to a new level. While later instances of this class were 17 kilometers, the Viscount itself was only about 3. It's possible this was just as a proof of concept for the later ships, or a result of the controversy over building ships of that size in the first place, but it did change the capabilities of the ship pretty significantly. Viscount was first introduced in 25 ABY, or years after the Battle of Yavin, initially seeing in service against Imperial holdouts, but then it served an important role in the Yuzon-Vong War. In Vector Prime, it's stationed at Coruscant at the start of the war, but its most notable performance in battle came under the command of Bothan Admiral Trace Crefay at Mon Calamari, alongside the Executor-class Guardian, and another Mon Calamari battlecruiser of unknown class, the Harbinger. The three massive warships were used together to rip through the Yuzon-Vong forces. Viscount was never mentioned to have been destroyed afterwards, and it doesn't really show up anywhere else, but it presumably remained in service well into the Second Galactic Civil War. The two other known instances of the class I mentioned were the full 17 kilometers. First off, we have the Krikana, introduced in the Essential Guide to Warfare, and this is its only appearance. After being constructed, which with context cues from Vector Prime and some other sources, seems to have been right after the Viscount itself as the second member of the class, the ship was eventually intended to be deployed to Kuat in 27 ABY. Kuat had hoped to use the ship to aid in its defense as an orbital artillery battery, but the Vong intercepted and destroyed the ship en route. The third and final member of the class that we know of is the Bounty, arguably the most successful ship of the class, even before it was completed. While under construction, the ship was used to deter attacks on Mon Calamari for the majority of the Vong War. Presumably, considering where it's stationed, it would also have been present at the defense of Mon Calamari towards the end of the war in the Unifying Force novel, which we spoke about a little bit earlier with the Viscount itself, though it itself is not explicitly mentioned. It's one of only 3 known Viscounts to also be explicitly mentioned in service after the Vong War, taking part in operations against the Secessionist Confederacy in 40 ABY, about a decade after the Vong War, where it fought off a task force of 19 Bothan frigates, as well as playing a key role in the pivotal Battle of Fondor the next year. While these 3 are the only explicitly named Viscounts, Agents of Chaos Heroes Trial mentions Corellian Viscounts. There's a few possibilities with this. One possibility is that Corellia helped the Mon Calamari build additional members of the class on top of the Viscount, Bounty, and Krikana. Second would be that Krikana was built at Corellia, making it a Corellian Viscount, although it does mention that plural Viscounts from Corellia, so that seems like it would have to be a mix of this and the first option, and considering the Bounty and Viscount were both explicitly mentioned as being from Mon Calamari itself, neither of those two would really fit. Third, and in my opinion the most likely possibility, is that it was simply a mistake and they had intended to reference the Corellian-made Trident-class Star Defenders there instead of the Viscount. Let me know which of these you think was the case in the comments. That's going to do it for today though. I'd like to also do a video on the other superships captured by the New Republic instead of just those built by them. Either way, if you have other suggestions for video topics, please leave them in the comments. If you've enjoyed, consider leaving a like or subscribing as well. Thanks for watching and hope to see you next time.